Okay, welcome back to Code with Petit Pois. In this tutorial, what we're going to do, we're going to make the individual pages for these articles. First things first, we're going to update this button so that it will actually link to a new article. So let's do that first. So we know that it's in project card, and we know that we're getting the project here, and we're going to do it by title. You could do it another way. You could add another thing here called slug, and we could say article -1. Actually, let's do that. We'll do that to each of these, and then we'll add that to our, let's do that again, article -3. Okay, so we've done that to all of those, and then in our content.config file, we're going to add slug to the config. Excellent. So now that we've done all of that, what we're going to do is go to the project card, and we're going to say href, and the button we have href, and this one is going to be with backticks, and we're going to say /articles, or it could be yeah, let's do articles because that's what it is. Do /articles and we're going to do a $, project.data.slug. Okay, or I think it could be just project.slug. Alright, so now what we want to do is we want to make a folder in Pages called Articles, which I have here, and we're going to right click, and we're going to call this one /slug /astro. Okay, now in the documentation and the content collections, we've got this building for static output, and this is by default, and we're going to copy what's written here, and we're going to walk through how this works. Okay, so it's importing the get collection, and it's importing render from Astro content, and we're exposing, we're getting the path for every collection, so every one of these basically we're getting the path to those, and we're going to say const.post articles instead of posts, and we say article, and we're just going to change all of that to article, and we're going to change all that to articles because that's what our that's what we're calling our collection. So what we're doing, we're importing what we need, we're exporting the paths, we're getting a path to each file, and the params is actually not an ID, it's a slug, so that's that. We're going to say article.data.slug. Oh, is that right? Slug, yeah, okay. Which basically means back in our thing here, we need to put data here, data.slug in our project card button. Okay, so for our template, we're gonna get the entry directly from the prop, which is the article, and we could actually, we're basically deconstructing that. And then the constant is how it's going to read all the content. And we're going to say h1, we can basically say, do we do layouts? We haven't done, yes, we have done layouts. So add a layout, and it's going to import that. And we're going to just wrap everything inside there. And we're going to do a div with the class of mx-auto. And we're going to paste all of that in here. And basically what we're going to do is say class font-bold text /7XL for the title, and then all we need to do is just add the content. So by doing that, let's take a look, make sure we have it running. So open up your terminal, and we say npm run dev. Make sure it's running on localhost 4321, and let's take a look. So if we refresh just to make sure. Okay, so if we hover over, we've got the path that is going to localhost 2, 3, article 3, etc. And we click on it, here we are. So we have the article, and we have everything that was written inside the article. So all of this. Now obviously we could make this even more interesting by you could say text item center. And I believe that will text center. Or maybe that's on, yeah, there we go. So we can center everything there. And we can even add in the, we can add in the image, like before. We can say article.data and we can add the image. We can add a H3 with the article.data and then we can say when it was published. And if we do this, oops, sorry, we have the publish date, and we don't have the article.data.image, that should be right. Oh, we need to make sure that that includes the whole path, because I believe it's only the, yeah, okay. So we make sure that we got this wrapped here, and kind of similar to how we made the project card, actually very similar here. So we could actually copy this and we could paste it here. So instead of project, it will be article.data.author, etc. We don't need the description, we just need the content. There we go. So if we take a look now, okay, so we're doing the whole thing. Right. We don't need object cover because we actually want to see the whole thing, so we can remove the class from the image. So let's just remove that class. Oh, make sure we're in the right file. Remove that class completely, and we'll see what we get. So there we go, we've got the Arc de Triomphe and we got the information here. And what we could do is we could actually make this into a grid. -1, and then md grid -cols-2. And what we'll do one div with the image, and we'll do another div with the information. So now we have it on one side, and we can basically have a class of padding 8, and let's see what that looks like. Not much is going on here. Oh, we want to make sure that this is gap 4. Okay, here we go, that's a bit better. Now we don't want this text to be centered, so we will remove that from there and put it here, so that the article is name, etc, etc. Now there's one more thing we need to add. We want to actually go back to the articles, because right now we're just stuck on this page. So let's do that. That's fine. We'll do the same class here. We'll copy that. Okay, so excellent. So we could basically say span. This actually should be next to the title. And we should say like written by, and then the author. Okay, we also want that. Maybe we could wrap this in a div as well. And we give it a class of text center. Oops. and we don't need it here. So yeah, written by, and then we can say the small here, add that there inside the div, and we say on, and then we've got all of that, and we have the image and we have the content. Excellent. So we could make it so that the gap is smaller, and we could also make the image of a class, and we'll say object contain, and we say width, let's say 16. See, it's absolutely tiny. 32, a bit bigger. If we say width full, there we go. That's what we want. But we want the height to be maybe 32. Okay, so in this case we do want object cover, with the height to be, let's say 72, and we want it to be maybe center, BG center. Or is it BG top actually? So that the positioning, we can see the top. Anyway, well, you obviously mess around with it and do what you want. Add some more classes. I'm going to do rounded. I'm going to do a shadow dash MD just to make it stand out a little bit. And with the information, we've got content. So that's what we've got here. All right. So you've obviously can, you know, however many articles you have at the moment, we can go to the home and we've got the articles here. But what we want to do is we want to add in this, maybe before we do the header, we want a button, and the href, we want it to basically go back to the home page. We say back to projects, and we want to make sure we import any components that we need. So we need the button from Astro Wind, sorry. So that's there. And if we save, we view an article, we say back to projects, but we want it to be maybe here, so we can move that button, put it inside the text center, maybe above the title, or we could actually put it below. Let's put it after the small. Actually, let's just wrap the small in H3, and we put the we put the button here, and then we wrap from the span. We'll put a H3, and we will wrap it here, and this should make it look a bit better. And okay, back to projects. So if we view this one, we've got article 1, article 2, and if for some reason we actually change it, so we're going to say this is, the title is Arc de Triomphe, and we go here, back to projects, we go to, it changes here, Arc de Triomphe, and we can say this is Arc de Triomphe, and it gets updated here, so we know it will always correspond to whatever you've got written here. We're going to change this to Eiffel Tower, and we can change the slug as well to Eiffel dash tower, And articles 3 is the metro. So Paris metro, and we can say the slug is Paris-metro. And obviously you can add more information and it will all show up here. So for example, if we went to Ipsum generator and we said 5 paragraphs, we copied all of this and we go to, I don't know, let's do the one about the one we're in now, all about the Paris metro, and we paste that. And we take a look in our portfolio and we do Paris metro, review it, it's all there. So there you go, so we've got a nice portfolio of projects. We could even add another button that shows, that gives us the, all of those, and we go here and we could say we want another button, maybe after the content, or say yeah, let's put another button. That'll be a href, and that will be article.data.url, and that will be like read more or more info, and that could be a link to the live project, or there we go, it's actually underneath, but we could put it, if we put it inside this div, it will be after the content. So for example here at the bottom, and oops, sorry, Art de Triomphe will be here, more info. And obviously you can change this, you could say you want the color to be I think it's danger, or is it warning? You want it to be red. No, can't remember the variants. Maybe info. Oh yeah, info, warning. You can change those. But yeah, that's a nice way of adding more content to your project. So if you have some links or some more information, and we wanted to do, we've done the tags here, but we also want maybe the tags in the file, as in the slug as well. So what we'll do, we go back to our project card. Actually no, project Astro, here it is. So we want to do the same thing we have here. We want to copy that and put it inside of our slug. So maybe I'll put it here, and we want to import the badge. And let's take a look and see what that looks like. So we've got all the tags as well. So what we want to do here, maybe we want to say H1 or H2 tags, and we want to wrap this in a div. Actually, we'll put that, yeah, H2 tags, and we give this a class of text center font dash bold. And let's see what that looks like. Okay, so we've got the nice long tags here. And what we could do, instead of a grid, we'll just say flex dash 1. Yeah, there we go. That's what we want. We don't want text center actually. We just want it to be bold, or it could even be padding of 4, text 3XL, and italic. Yeah, there you go. So you got the tags here. Maybe we do want all of that inside of the project button here. So everything is MX Auto, item center, let's see what that looks like. Text center, doesn't want to do it. Oh, flex dash row. No, that's the thing I want to do. Okay, well, we could figure out, maybe we don't want it in the center. We can take it out of the center, put it outside, and put it inside there. Oh, actually, I think it should be at the bottom. So let's move all of that just before the last div. We can put it there. And there we go. We can wrap all of that in a section with a class of padding 4. And that will be our tag section. That makes more sense, I think. It looks a bit better. And eventually you can even make these into URL links or whatever, but that is all we're going to do in this project. So I actually received a Figma file from a subscriber, and what we're going to do, we're going to break that down and actually make a whole portfolio page using the techniques we've created in this project. Okay, so let's do that. Oh, before we go, because we've made these changes, again I will click on the source control and I will say added dynamic articles, and I will say commit and sync, because we've made a change and it's good to make sure every time you make a change and it's working to push that code to GitHub. So now everything is there, and as you can see here, these are the different times we can roll back if we need to. All right, so we'll be creating a full project next time, and that's what we'll do.